Hey guys, welcome. I go by your gracious host, the young buzz Don Caesar Leo. It's been a pleasure hanging out lately, enjoying the scenes of what's been going out there in the music world. I myself, I'm a musician, I'm a fashion designer, I'm an all-around fly individual. But hey, it's not about me. I'm here to just talk about the music scene, specifically the Nigerian music scene, with the Afro fusion, Afro beat, Afro pop, Afro rap, everything Afro. And really want to talk about issues with two very interesting artists of our generation now. Talking about DAVIDO, 30 BG and all that. Then I'm also talking about Burna Boy, Spaceship. These guys, along with a few others, happen to be the top-notch creme de la creme of music coming out of Africa. Actually, black music, period. Doesn't even matter if they're reggae artists, hip-hop artists, Afrobeat artists, whatever you want to call them, Afrofusion, whatever artists, just black musicians. These guys are one of the top musicians in the world currently. Now, for some who might not know, there hasn't always been, but recently there's been this little subliminal disses going back and forth between DAVIDO and Burna Boy. People say that it started with Burna Boy making some type of subliminal comments that you could say was directed at DAVIDO if you decipher what they were talking about or what he's saying, I don't want to just go into all the details of everything. I think there's a lot of other chats and other streaming sites and platforms, other people's platforms where you could go and find out what Burna Boy said. And obviously that didn't sit well with DAVIDO. Now, first of all, let's just talk about Burna Boy's trajectory. Burna Boy, for the last 3 years or so, he's been scorching, just putting out music, back-to-back music, albums, not just music, albums. I think it was one of some albums called Outside. Then he did African Giant, and now he's done Twice as Tall. So it's just like a steady uprise. You know what I'm saying? It's been like an uphill battle, but it seems like he's finally at the top now. And with all due respect, he's worked so hard for it. I'm a day one Burna Boy fan. And, I'm pretty much knew when he started coming out, buzzing. Funny enough, he was featured on Burna Boy, DAVIDO's videos, back in the day. Madami Duro, and that video right there, you'll see a Burna Boy with just a little box cut kind of, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, though, he has always been talented, you know what I'm saying. So he comes from a musical background. Heavily influenced by music, and you could tell that comes out in his delivery and what he says, in his melodies, his tone of music. Now, the very good thing about Burna Boy that he has a lot on a whole lot of people. First of all, he writes, I would say maybe 95% of his music. Now, he has always had that sense of consciousness in his music as well. So even though he gives us the street vibes and he gives us the melodies, the lamba, you know what I'm saying? We call it the lamba for the hood, you know what I'm saying? He still has those elements where he gives you knowledge of self, knowledge of Africa, knowledge of the world. And that's one thing that a lot of other African musicians of his generation don't do. Now, I'm not going to say they're unable to do so. I'll just say they don't do. They just want to be pop, just want to sell records, so they want to just have a good time, talk about women, talk about money, talk about doing so many, cars and all that fly stuff. But sometimes you got to dig deep, because Nigeria is a place where a lot of people are suffering. But when you see Nigerians outside, we look like we're having the best time of our lives. Even though it was suffering, Nigeria is one of the happiest places in the world. It was some of the happiest people in the world. So Burna Boy gives you this perspective of what life should be, what life is like now, how life was before. It gives you a history of Nigeria, how Nigeria came to be. You know, if you listen to the African Giant album with him and Manifest, there's a song over there where he talks about how Nigeria came to be through the Royal Niger Company, which is now like called Unilever. So how things just change, you know what I'm saying? Same shit, different. You get me? So now let's switch it up to Omo Baba Olu, Davido. Davido. Davido is the prince. First of all, Davido has a lot of love in the street. People like Davido because they say Davido helps. He's a helper. If Davido comes into your life, he's boosting your life. You're going to see a tremendous increase in quality of life dealing with Davido. Davido was blessed to have been born into a family with a whole lot of money, a wealthy family. But that doesn't take away from his work ethic or from his talent, his charisma. Money might get you into the door, but money is not going to keep you in the buildings if you don't have what it actually takes from the inside. Yes, people run their mouth and say that Davido pays for music. People write for Davido, which is one of the gripes that I believe Burna Boy has with Davido, because Davido churns hits, keeps coming up with hits like every single day. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. And yeah, he might have people work, you know, like writing for him, working for him, writing music for him. But hey, he's employing people. He's keeping people in the market, keeping people fed. You get me? He has a whole lot of team. That's why he said 30 BG. 30 BG. It's a lot of niggas under Davido. It's a lot of dudes under Davido. Producers, musicians, street boys that he employs and gives them businesses to handle and run, and they start their own businesses so they can take care of their families. He's like Davido is like a king maker. That's what Davido is. He builds people up. So on one hand, you could say he's helpful. Maybe some people might look at it like, oh, that's just his guilty conscience for him coming from a rich family and him making it into the music industry, while a whole lot of other people who seemingly more talented are unable to get into the industry simply because they lack the resources to do so. You know, basically money. Because especially in Nigeria, money makes the world go round in Nigeria. Period, point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You get me? Easy, like easy. I'm talking about with money, you can control the police, you can control the politicians, you can control soldiers, you can control the average dude on the street. You can sleep with as many girls as you want to. With money, with good and on money, you can have 3-4 wives, easy. But that's besides the point. So because of this whole back and forth between the both of them, subliminal disses, Davido comes up with this new song called Femme. Femme, you know, is like, it's a slang back home, you know, like shut your mouth, like I don't want to hear femme. Or some people derive it from French. You know, we used to always say, oh, femme la bouche. That's close your mouth, shut your mouth, femme la bouche. So femme. So basically, why the song Femme? Seemingly targeted at Burna Boy. You know, he makes certain comments, certain references, certain lines. Say you're talking too much. Little thing, you just earned a little respect. Now you're talking too much. There's a specific line on the song that it's from that line is like makes it obvious that okay, yes, he is talking to Davido. I'm talking to Burna Boy, where he says, quote unquote, tell Odogu we like to party. He says, tell Odogu we like to party. Now, if you guys are Burna Boy fans, recently not too long ago, Burna Boy dropped a song, Udugu. When I reach Igbo land, them calling me Udugu, Udugu. You get me? Also, Burna Boy's main song that broke him into the limelight is a song called Like to Party. So we're here with the girls, them that like to party and move your body. So Davido says, tell Odogu we like to party. So that's the obvious line that it makes it clear that, okay, yes, Davido is talking to Burna Boy on this. Seemingly so, Burna Boy comes out. Of course, Burna Boy already dropped his album Twice as Tall, where there are also some other shots as well, like Waiting They Sup. There's a song called Waiting They Sup. You know, very good album, by the way. I'm like, it's a very good time to be alive in Nigeria, for African music. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's a blessing. I'm so happy that we have matured to this extent. It's like the state of where Nigerian music is now is like how hip hop was in the 90s. You know, it was the 80s and then it was the 90s, like the golden era. I feel like right now we are in the golden era. I don't know if it's gonna get any better. It's still getting better because you have younger dudes coming out, but it's like, wow, music is awesome. It's like this is the golden era right now. You have Fireboy, Joe Boy, Oxlade. You know, of course, you have Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid. You still have all these guys coming out. You still have Fino, Flavor. You get me? Techno, Runtown. There's so many dudes and women as well. Yemi Alade, Tenny, Ninyola. The list goes on. So basically, the issue is this now. Is the issue with Burna Boy and Davido, is this something that's going to keep on, is this going to be on record? Is it going to be on wax? If it's going to be on wax, I think it's going to be good for the music industry. It's going to be good for the culture, the fabric of the music industry. Because it's going to breed competition, you know, still sharpening steel. Burna Boy is so lit right now. If Burna Boy keeps this trajectory for the next 2 years, he's going to be bigger than Davido or Wizkid. Wizkid is still, I think, general consensus, Wizkid has that respect. Wizkid is the leader of the new school. I think he has, that's without a doubt. I know people might want to say other things. Some people still prefer Davido to Wizkid or whatever, but Wizkid started this for the newer generation, without a doubt, no question. Until today, he's still churning out beautiful music. You know, he kind of took a break a little bit, but he's coming back out now with some more good stuff. But right now, I'm not gonna lie, right now, it's time for Burna Boy. Burna Boy. His content is so conscious driven that you have no choice but to listen. I mean, Puff Daddy, Diddy executive produced his album. His executive produced Burna Boy's most recent album, Twice as Tall. You could tell that this album was made during the quarantine era, quarantine period, but it's made for the international ear. And yes, we need the international people to listen to what Africans have to say, because we got a whole lot to say, because a whole lot of stuff is going on back home. It's deep. The recolonization of Africa is trying to take place, but we who are educated, who are exposed, who are woke, you know, we're not going for that, man. So I know I'm kind of interweaving a whole bunch of things together. At the end of the day, I want everybody to pay attention, not lose focus. We don't want the beef between Burna Boy and Davido to spill into the streets, because they are heavily street connected. Two of them. Heavily street connected. As a matter of fact, people are already fighting on the streets. They're fans. They're already like bumping heads on the street. Like bloody, kind of. In certain pockets of society. But we don't want it to escalate. We don't want it to be a Movado versus Vibes Cartel type shit. You know, them Jamaicans don't play, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my JA niggas, you know what I'm saying? So for now, I just want to let people know that this is bringing out the best in people as far as music is concerned. It's bringing out the best. And I hope that you don't have to beef all the time. We can't beef for clout. But if the beef is legit, then let it rip. You get me? In the meantime, I hope you guys are feeling my jacket here. This is my jacket, my clothing. I make jackets like this. This is like made with Ankara clothing. It's a bomber jacket. This particular one is loose. It's not like thick, so you can wear it in the spring. You can wear it. It can keep you warm, but it's not going to keep you hot. You get me? I'm going to be showing you guys more of my brand. It's called EFYLDART. 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 You can please visit my clothing brand on IG at EFYLDART. Take a look at what we have to offer. And if you like something, you see it, you like it, you buy it, I ship it out to you. It doesn't matter wherever you are in the country, in the world. I'm going to have it delivered to you ASAPly. So I'm going to be doing more content because I feel like a lot of people just need to hear more of what I got to say, because I have a great POV, point of view of things, of life. We're going to be discussing politics, music, artistry, business. I'm very business oriented, so we're going to be talking about a whole lot of business, a whole lot of entrepreneurship. You get me? So until then, it's been real, YouTube guys. I hope to build my following up. Please, you guys, show love and support. If you're feeling me, if you're feeling the vibe, if you're feeling my lingo, if you're feeling my accent, even if you don't feeling me, man, if you just like or dislike, I need to get some type of reaction out of you. If I don't get any reaction out of you, then I'm not doing a good job. You feel me? Hopefully it's going to be positive. Or even if it's negative, it's still going to turn negative into positive. You get me? So until then, it's the young boss Don Cesar Leo.